There are literally thousands of books on productivity, time management, focusing, deep work, and stuff like that. There's actually one really good called Deep Work. And all this is, at some point in all that literature on productivity and time management, you kind of identify a pattern in these books, in this literature. And this is kind of the human AI that is able to extract a ton of information. And about a certain topic, in this case, productivity, time management, and whatnot, you start to develop a pattern. And that pattern is pointing into 6 or 5 specific generic tips, tricks that you will be able to use on a daily basis. And those tips will actually force you even to focus on the work that is valuable, the work that is important, as opposed to constantly running after what comes to you. The email, phone call, chat. I mean, today, of course, there are endless distractions, endless preoccupations in our heads. And at some point, we're just running around whatever comes to us. And in our business, what we do is we sell a maintenance management software. In other words, we help companies manage the maintenance of their equipment, of their physical assets through our software. And what happens in 98% of the companies we speak with, before, of course, they purchase the system, what actually the generic pain of those companies is this inability to focus on the work inside our maintenance departments, focus on the work that is more valuable for them, the work which in our sector is called preventive maintenance. And preventive maintenance is actually something we can apply to our own personal lives, but more on that in a bit. But the bottom line is, in our business, in our products, in our software that we sell to clients, the same methodology applies to what I was saying in the beginning, to the whole importance of being able to focus on the important tasks as opposed to running after your problems. We are constantly getting bombarded with stuff in our professional lives, and in maintenance departments it is called reactive work. I mean, the name is self-explanatory. You are reactive to whatever happens, and that is literally fireman strategy, as we commonly refer to with this expression, as opposed to focusing on the work that is valuable, on the preventive maintenance, on checking your equipment every now and then. And this every now and then is something that can be set to do every day or every week or every 6 months, something like that. That is the kind of proactive work that you do as to reduce the reactive work. It's simple if you think about it, but the bottom line is you don't have the time to even think how this can be implemented, and because you're so focused on this. So it's the exact same thing again, the parallel, or making the analogy to our personal lives. You never have time to do anything. Oh, can we go there? Oh, I don't think I have time. You're always running late. And when was the last time you actually stopped your life to have a 4-hour conversation with that person with whom every time you are with, you end up speaking for time and time just flies by? When was the last time you had that? And the bottom line is, yes, I don't have time to is something I simply don't buy. You don't have time. Why don't you have time? Because you make time for other stuff. It's a matter of priorities, and in your personal life. And once again, in your work, in your day-to-day work, it is again a matter of priorities. It's a matter of saying to yourself, well, okay, I'm becoming self-aware that you are constantly running around whatever comes to you. If you suddenly understand and you are sufficiently self-aware that this is actually happening to you, then you have, the possibility to say, well, I don't have time to, but you can make time to. I'll tell you an example, a very recent example that I implemented in my daily life. So I scheduled specific slots of my week, always at the same time, always on the same days of the week. I scheduled something that I learned from a book that's called Pro Time. Very simple. I have 3 slots of 2 hours spread out in my week, always on the same day, same time, and those are my Pro Times. And Pro Time is for whatever I want. Work, of course, but sometimes not. Sometimes I just, I think it was some weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I actually went for a walk thinking about something for work, but I did go for a walk just because I didn't want to be in the office during that Pro Time. I had a lot in my mind, and I just went for a walk to think about those things in my mind, and sometimes just look at the view or whatever. But the bottom line is, those Pro Times are specific slots of my week where nothing else comes in between, unless it's a family or a health urgency. And I mean nothing else. Business-wise, nothing is more important, okay? Even that deal that is just about to close, it doesn't, if it has to be that day, that time, because the day after they're going to make a decision, well, go for that meeting. But even in those cases, there's nothing wrong with just asking the guys, can you do the meeting tomorrow? Today afternoon, I don't need to tell them it's my pro time, that doesn't matter. Today afternoon I'm busy. Well, for me it's my pro time. I'm busy. But if I say this to a potential client, even if the sale is big, even if they are really wanting this meeting, I don't lose anything if I ask them, can we have the meeting tomorrow morning? Will it have the same effect? Will the right people be there also tomorrow morning or the day after afternoon? There's nothing wrong with asking. The problem is here. Of course, I'm a salesperson. I want to sell as much as we can. But the bottom line is, things can wait. It's a matter of priorities. Yes, sales are priorities, but pro time is the important work that I am constantly doing. Well, 6 months back now, that I am constantly doing, that will help bring more sales inevitably, because my pro time is used to think about different ways to do things, more efficient procedures using our CRM software, and actually planning them, writing them down and understanding, well, we have efficiency gains here. I can reduce this time. Instead of 3 minutes, it can be only 1. But if I do it 20 times a day, then there's a significant change over there, a significant improvement that I can implement. And those type of things, sometimes they do come up. Whatever I'm doing, they do come up and I immediately write them down. But sometimes, I just need to stop whatever the hell I'm doing and find those 2 hours per week. Well, in my case, 3 slots of 2 hours per week for that purpose. Just think about it and write down whatever in your head, because eventually something will come out. You just need to make time for this.